Fools. So, I'm gonna do a tweak episode. I haven't done one in a long time, not since the first, in fact. But I have been jonesing to play the new game, and I can't really do that until I splice together a whole bunch of things. And thought, well, if I'm going to have to do this anyways before I start recording a new series based on the new game, maybe I ought to do the splicing on camera, make a tutorial or something significantly less qualitative than a tutorial, and start with that. So first, let's get... Ooh! Point 11. I didn't even know that had happened. What have we got? Final release for September. Or first release. What am I saying? As usual, a few bugs. Major bug fixes. I'm sure you guys all know about this stuff. I'm just going to download that. I always go Mac because I don't have a choice. Now, after this, what I do is I go Phoebus, tileset. So yeah, right there. I use this. It already has a few things from Caffeine already in it. 1 year anniversary? Oh, and you know what? Every time I come to this, I find out it's not the right one. Or is it? 0311. So no, that's not the right one. At the very bottom of this stupid thing is a link to the correct one. I should just make a link to this somewhere. So save game. Updated for 1.4.10. Probably will be okay. And even if it's not, the tutorial will still apply. So let me get that. I get just the graphics set because, as you can see, they don't have it prepackaged for Mac. Linux comes close, so that might actually work, but that's not as big a deal. So I'm just going to download that, ignore this over here, and I'm going to get rid of all that business. Now, let's see ya. Downloads. Thank you. All kinds of stuff you don't need to see. Let's just go straight to it so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Hello. Open. Thank you. So let's see here. Phoebus. Bloop. And unzip the tarball here for DFOSX. Now I'm going to rename that because I already have that on my desktop. So we're just going to say new dwarf. Right, so. Boink. Okay. This is relatively simple. So in the new dwarf, there's a few things that need to be moved over. Like I said, if you can get the prepackaged, if you're on PC, this part at least is done for you. But on the assumption that it isn't, go to graphics. As you can see, it's just example stuff here. We'll pull over all of this, including Caffeine's work. Replace. Sorry, that might have been off screen for you. And we'll move back. Pretty simple so far. Objects. This is where things will get a little hairy later, but I'm going to move all these over and replace all where appropriate. Again, sorry that was off the bottom of your screen. So that much is taken care of. Let's see. And now, if I'm not mistaken, data. Let's go back. Data. Aren't. We need the Phoebus stuff. Bring that over. Replace whatever. So, I mean, the one thing at least on a Mac, you can't do is just drop the entire folder in because that might erase contents you want to keep. So, hence that. Now, in it, I always end up fiddling with, but I'll bring them over to begin with. Replace all. I can never remember which one is which, so we'll open with text speed. Holy crap. Lots of other things you don't need to see. Sorry, I do work on the side. You know, I do things of my own that have nothing to do with work or gaming. But we can take take a look at this anyways. Dip. Okay, so autosave view, yes. Autosave pause, yes. Initial save, no. Yeah, that does make sense. Let's see. Temperature, yes. I think most of this is pretty much good. I always go with a 3x3. So I fiddle with this. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys can see my cursor or not. I ignore most of this. Coffin pets default. I actually prefer that, so let's change that to yes. That saves me a little bit of time in the future. Sky, blah, pillar, tile. I know I've changed that before, so if you don't mind, I'm going to look in my official Azindatur raw stuff here. It will mostly match up. Data, sorry, it's off screen. Init, D interface, open with the TextMate as well. Why do I have two things of TextMate going here? So let's see. Initial. I was pretty sure. Yeah, initial rectangle. Pillar tile 199. Oh, because that came over with Phoebus. So that's fine. Okay. Don't care about any of that stuff right now. This stuff I don't even want to touch because it's new and I don't understand it yet. Idlers up top. Population cap. Strict population cap. That's neat. I don't remember that. I'm not sure. I'll leave that alone for now. Varied ground tiles. Yes. Engravings obscured. Yes. Show imp quality. I don't really care for, but I'll leave it alone for now. More yes. Display length 23. That is all good. So we'll save that. Bloop. And do the same over here. TextMate. So let's see, sound, no. Volume, 0. This will get rid of the music. Intro, no. Windowed, yes. This one I have to actually look at more carefully. Where to go on the other screen? Open with the TextMate. Okay. Move that off screen. You don't need to see that. Sound, yes. Intro, no. Windowed, yes. Windowed, XY. I do, in fact, want, I'm going to copy. This is specifically for my recording. This is 720p right here. Not having to resize it every single time is nice. Resizable, yes. Full screen, we don't care about that. Black space, yes. Graphics, yes. One of these was important, but these are all already set correctly. However, at least on a Mac, there's something coming up that is important. It says 2D here. I need to set this to standard. Otherwise, what you'll see is the display will be the full 720p, but the actual game will be in 1/4 of one of the corners. And that was, it took me a while and some research to figure out why that was happening. Let's see, FPS. I don't really care about FPS. It's extra noise. FPS cap. I tone it down a little bit just because why waste resources on something the human eye's not going to be able to see anyways? And I think most of the rest of this is pretty much taken care of. Indeed. So initialization's good. I did. It does not include my world gens. I believe I covered world gen before, did I not? But it has changed, so I'm not going to do that here. Now, excuse me. Next up. Let's see. I can't remember my own thing. Damn it. What the hell was it? Oh, GitHub. Sorry. We use Bitbucket for work, so I get the two confused. Now, my personal business. Hello. Show me my own stuff. So, some of these are private. Like, this is the thing we're working on. That's none of your business. Yes, I'm not very active. In this particular bracket here, that's because I just got this new surprise interim director of technology upgrade. And it has taken up a lot of my time. But yeah, as you can see, I've been hit or miss all along. I need to be so much better than this. But repos, Modulicious, that thing I need to figure out soon. Raw dwarf meat is what I'm going for. There are tweaks and stuff that I and Catherine have been making over time, and they've collected here. They're not a lot of them right now, but they are here. And if you guys want them, you can get them here. JTarga, raw dwarf meat. And if you have tweaks and you want to try, merging them with mine, I have never actually had to do a pull request before, or answer a pull request. So it'd be good education for me. But as you can see, I have my own little changelog. I haven't done much lately. And actually, I already have this on my machine. So let me get rid of this. I believe I do. So here's my local machine. CD desktop dev raw dwarf meat. Okay. So we got graphics. This is all the caffeine stuff. Some of Caffeine's graphics were sidelined by somewhat more aggressive artists who are in this list that you can see here, but were better. And so I brought those back and also separated them out into kinds of things so that we could start just replacing all the graphics, assuming we ever had the energy to do so. And me, by we, I mean her, because I'm not any good at that, really. But these things need to come over. So actually, what am I doing here? Let's just go directly to that. And you can see all the various stupid things I have been not working on. Derp, raw dwarf meat. Squish that down. So we'll bring all of this over. It includes the graphics. And we will allow that to replace what is in... Which one of these is... Okay, Phoebus we're done with, so I can get rid of that. So we back out. Again, go to raw, graphics, bring this all over, and replace everything, as messy as that looks. And I'll have to be careful to re-download the repo so that I don't accidentally up... You know what? I can just do this correctly. Copy, and paste. Right. Was that correct? Didn't it last time tell me overwrote some things? Looks, excuse me, looks good. Okay. Those are more or less straightforward. However, with objects, I have a number of other things going here. So let me actually expand this out. Sorry, it's 720p is smaller than it seems sometimes. But I actually tried, I think, starting recording one of these in 1080, and that was just unwieldy. I didn't really care for it. It didn't buy me anything, really, or you guys anything. So anyways, these are all the things we've worked on. So C variation default, that deals with creatures, and that was part of an experiment that actually does work, but I haven't furthered, where, and if any of you are software developers, you'll understand inheritance. So first there's this body descriptor for bird, and I've only done a few of these. There's a bird, and then, or in this case it might be, what is a robin? Thrush. So there's this defining thing for bird. A thrush is then a bird. It inherits most of the things from bird, but then it tweaks a few of them on top of that. And then I define a robin is a generic, is an interpretation of a thrush. And then from there, again, it's lacking a number of things. But from there, then I say, okay, I want a normal, everyday robin, and then a dire robin, and a holy robin, and like a gigantic robin, the variations on that for use in the world. And I have that and maybe 2 or 3 other thrushes. So that's as far as I got. But the same concept could apply to every creature in the game. And I may eventually just produce that as a package as well. But the C variation defaults, I'll take a look at it. Apparently not in TextMate. Some of these are original, but animal person legless, some of these are already in there. But the ones I started adding are things like holy, and it removes a bunch of tags and then adds some new ones. And that's how the the creature changes based on the fact that if you take a robin and apply the dread or holy tag to it, it changes in size and demeanor and description and stuff like that. Let's see. So when I talk about splicing or doing a little bit of surgery here, I need to find the original one. It's just not going to be easy. Let's see. Clean up, arrange by name, please. So that should be closer to the top. Oh, I'm still in graphics. That would explain much. Objects. Oh my god. Arrange by name. So, see variation default. I would need effectively to go through and make sure that between this and this, actually, here's a little trick. So where am I? Desktop, dev, raw. Okay. So let's see. CD objects. Let me expand this for you. Just not past the bottom of the screen. All right, so let's see. Diff, C variation, autocomplete, and then desktop, new dwarf. Whoops, new dwarf. Where am I again? Raw objects, C variation default. So what it tells me is that, let's see, some things have changed. C remove tag ubiquitous. Change frequency percentage. So in fact, there has been a change to these tags. I think. Sorry, my own skill at reading this is rusty. But from variation giant, that's all in the old one. So on the, you can see it's pointing right. The one on the right is the old guy here. No, it's the new guy. So the new guy has giant, which I removed. I don't remember. No, it has giant. That mine does not. I removed giant. However, beak peck attack I added. Prepare for speciation I added. So that's all on my side, and it's not in the other file. Trying to merge them might be slightly difficult, but it would be a matter of, oh god, I have to remember which one is which. Objects, 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 objects. Which one is which? Well, the smaller one is mine. So let me close that up, open it again. Okay, so here's one, and then here's the other. So let's do a little bit of comparison then. By hand. There are better ways, trust me. So we said something about ubiquitous, right? Ubiquitous. I did spell it correctly, and yet it's not there. Does that mean it's in this one? Yes. So in the 0.11, they have added ubiquitous. Well, they've added the thing to remove it. So which one is this? This is animal person. So here, it's just not there at all. And here, it is. I wonder if that's a decision I made. I'm going to have to go into the raw descriptors and find out what ubiquitous actually means. Now, the old one still has animal person legless, punch attack, kick attack, tail attack, hoof attack, nail materials, blah blah blah. Oh, nail, claw scratch attack. It does not have beak peck attack, I'm pretty sure. Proboscis suck attack, nice. Suck attack. Beak bite. So we'll go down. The idea is if they have made important changes up here, then I need to preserve them, because if they're brand new tags, I will not necessarily understand the difference and may break the game unwittingly. This is still very much a trial and error kind of thing. There are some people out there who are way better at this, I'm sure. Okay, so I do have a habit of adding my new things to the bottom so that they're not too hard to find. So beak peck, prepare for speciation, all that stuff. We will just bring it over entirely. You can see here it's not even present. Boink. Okay, so that one's done. Any new material that has been brought in 0.11 is still here and safe. And later on, actually, if I was smart, I'd bring this over and replace it. I'm not sure about that ubiquitous tag. Something about it bothers me. I think I may have removed it myself, because one thing is I don't actually like the humanoid variants on animals. I would prefer them not to be in the game myself. And let's see, let's maybe look at one more. So we've got inorganic metal. So we could just, did I really close the window? Frig. Desktop. CD. So let's clean that up. Expand it out. Excuse me. So diff, dev. Let's take the new game. So new dwarf, raw objects, inorganic metal. Okay, and then dev, raw dwarf meat, raw. No, oh, because it's already there, referring to raw. Objects, inorganic metal. Boink. So, what's the difference? Not much. My forged star, which is basically, it's an alloy from fallen stars, basically meteorite material. It's supposed to be very rare. I have not yet figured out how to get cultures to treat it if it's rare. You know, if a culture has the slightest, you know, a single meteorite in their entire realm, everybody has meteorite material as if it were the most common thing in the world. It doesn't seem to respect how rare it's supposed to be. You know, it's the same thing kind of goes with things like gold and platinum. Either a culture has it or they don't, but if they do, they have tons of it. They don't. It's not like precious. So you know, that sort of thing. But in this case, oh, wait a minute. No new line at end of file. Oh, so that's just an extra. The actual tag for Aqua has not changed. So in this case, let me not get rid of that. Inorganic metal can just bloop, drop right in, replace. That's updated. So I'm going to have to go through this for a while. It'll be kind of nice when the new game has stopped having major bug updates, so that I don't have to go through this every time. But it's pretty much just like that. Most of these will be able to go in pretty easy. Now, I'll probably in the future do videos about these tags and these raws and what little I have actually discovered and manipulated and made work pretty much by accident. But some of these are kind of interesting. Like, I've added new stones, new metals, a few items. I also noticed one of the things that I liked, where is it? Language words. Being able to find the new stuff. It should be all at the bottom, right? Yep. So there are a lot of things that were already in, but didn't have words, so I added a lot of them. Platinum, ruby, sapphire, beryl, zircon, garnet. You know, a lot of stones, because I'm not a geologist, but I am a rock hound, and so I appreciate those things. But then there are other things like route. Route wasn't that you couldn't you couldn't be routed, you couldn't follow a route. These things were not part of the language file. There was nothing for excuse me. There was nothing for ISIL, magma, lava, completely left out of the game. I think that's the beginning. But when you do for these words, then you have to then go to and add them to the symbologies. Like geological things obviously will include magma and lava, but so might fiery stuff or violent stuff would, So you put these words under different categorizations, and then you give, for each race that you have in the game, you have to have a language file. So here you go. Oh, wilds. I probably put some words in other places near where a related word was. But here are all the various words I've added. So judge, respect. Starting with lava, these are all the ones I've added. Lava, magma, isle, route, span, like to cross something. Tourmaline, garnet, all your various stones, forged star, fallen star, malachite, azurite, covalite. These are things I've added. They're other, they're basically variations on malachite itself. Dirt, Chris, Aegis, these are weapons and shields. Deceive, you couldn't have the deceiver of blah. It wasn't in the game. So I added these. And you have to then find the words for them in each language. And I've actually tried to use some logic to it, like, oh, there's a root like text. The original, because microcline, amazite, and orthoclase are all versions of feldspar, the root word is taxed for feldspar, but these are variations on that. And I do that a lot. And some languages, like, the root will be in a different place in Elvish than it is in Goblin and stuff like that. Anyways, that's all some other thing I'll talk about some other time. But that's basically the process of updating. I mean, the first part there was, take Phoebus, drop it in. For the most part, as long as the version matches, it should work. It will work. Since the 0.10 was all there was, 0.11 is newer, there might be an error that would cause it to crash right now. But beyond that, this stuff here is stuff I've this is work I've given myself by wanting to have custom content. But once I've gone through all this, it will be available for my next Let's Play series based in a new world, based in a new game, and we can experience that a little bit. So thanks for watching, and thanks for putting up with me, and have a good one.